I make these videos because you can't fool Mother Nature. Colorado Public Radio has been running hysterical stories about how the fires this year have damaged Rocky Mountain National Park. But they don't understand that fire is an essential part of the forest cycle and that you can't fool Mother Nature. Most of the trees in Rocky Mountain National Park are lodgepole pines, and lodgepole pine seeds can't germinate without a large fire. The fire doesn't destroy the forest. What the fire does is it regenerates it. New lodgepole pine trees couldn't grow without the fires, so the existing trees that would get old, they would die, and the lodgepole pine forest would disappear. The reason why the forest exists is because of recurring large fires. What gets destroyed by these large fires are people who build their homes in the pine forest. If you build it in the pine forest, it will burn. Colorado Public Radio says that these areas shown in red have been destroyed. But they haven't been in any way destroyed. Let's review the basics of how plants grow once again. In order for a plant to grow, it needs light, it needs green chlorophyll, it needs water coming up from the roots, and it needs carbon dioxide. Water vapor and carbon dioxide are the two primary greenhouse gases on Earth. And not surprisingly, Colorado Public Radio believes that greenhouse gases are evil, even though they're two of the essential components of all life. Over the course of its lifetime, a tree can grow very tall. That's because it's absorbing energy, it's absorbing water, and it's absorbing carbon dioxide. The tree converts solar energy into stored chemical energy. Over the course of 100 years or so, a tree can convert huge amounts of solar energy into stored chemical potential energy. This stored chemical potential energy is what most people call wood. But over long periods of time, in order for the forest to remain in energy balance, all of this stored solar energy has to get released. The forest can't just keep building up more and more energy for thousands or millions of years. That's not how nature works. One of the primary mechanisms which forests use to maintain their energy balance is fire. And when fires are suppressed, as they have been for the past 100 years, huge amounts of dead wood can build up on the forest floor. This is the Medicine Bow National Forest near where I live in Wyoming. As you can see, the forest is a complete mess, and it's a catastrophe waiting to happen. All that it takes to return this 100 years of stored solar energy is one person lighting a match. And then the whole place goes up in a huge fire. And that's exactly what happened in Colorado and Wyoming this year. After 7 years of very wet summers and not very many fires, this year we had a dry, hot summer and lots of fires. After the fires burn, the locals always get hysterical and think that everything's been destroyed. I grew up in Los Alamos, New Mexico, which had 3 very large fires in 1977, 2000, and 2011. Many people that I knew believed that the fires were the end of the world. But 8 years later, this is what the burn area looks like. It's much healthier now than it was prior to the fire. The fires didn't destroy the forest, rather they regenerated it. After the 1988 Yellowstone National Park fires, the press was full of stories about how the park had been destroyed by the fires. But 3 years later, in 1991, the burned areas of the forest were filled in with beautiful green new growth. And this headline read, "Yellowstone Changed, Sites Even More Inviting Now." This always happens with fires. After the fire, people are devastated and they think it's the end of the world. But a few years later, the area almost inevitably looks much better. In this 1991 article, a forest ecologist said, "Most of us were indoctrinated with the idea that all fires were automatically destructive and bad. This attitude permeates even the way we describe fires. Most newspapers and TV reports emphasized how the Yellowstone fires destroyed so many acres. Writers reported on the devastation or the timber wasted. Few commented about the new wildlife habitat created or the healthier forests, which inevitably result from wildfires." And more than 30 years later, the press is still writing the same ridiculous misinformation about science. In 1988, the press was parroting junk science and misinformation about Yellowstone National Park, and now they're doing exactly the same thing about Rocky Mountain National Park in the year 2020. They make the same mistakes about science and nature over and over again. But this time the junk science in the press is even worse. After 7 years of wet summers and low fire activity in Colorado, Colorado Public Radio is blaming the fires this year on climate change in the here and now. These people imagine that they're very sciencey and sophisticated when in reality they don't understand science, they don't understand nature, and they definitely don't understand journalism. So it's a good thing that Toto and Curie are here to set the record straight. You can visit them on the web at realclimatescience.com.